So, what is Graves' disease? Graves' disease is an autoimmune disorder in which you can say it is a type of hyperthyroidism. That the thyroid gland will act as a hyper, means more amount of thyroxine secretions will take place. Normally, we see that this master gland, the pituitary gland, it will master gland or pituitary gland, it is producing the and controlling the other glands in the body. So this pituitary gland is secreting thyroid stimulating hormone, and this thyroid stimulating hormone will control the secretions of thyroid gland that will secrete thyroxine, and this thyroxine will increase the rate of respiration. So when there will be when there will be more need of respiration, then it needs more production of thyroxine, and it depends on the thyroid stimulating hormone. The pituitary gland will guide and direct thyroid gland to make more thyroxine, and it will give the signal with the help of thyroid stimulating hormone. And this thyroid stimulating hormone, there will be some receptors for the binding of thyroid stimulating hormone and the cells of thyroid gland. So in case of Graves' disease, we see that this, in case of Graves' disease, we see that this one, the antibodies will be produced against this receptors for thyroid stimulating hormone, and these antibodies will bind with the receptors for thyroid stimulating hormone, and then it will act like TSH, and then the thyroid cells will think that there is a signal from pituitary gland, and they will start to produce thyroxine. So since this antibody will be continuously binding there, and when it will be bound form with the receptors, then thyroxine production will take place, and slowly and gradually the more amount of thyroxine will be produced. Because in case of this, that when there was no disease, then thyroid stimulating hormone was controlling the production of thyroxine, and this thyroxine, with the help of feedback mechanism, was controlling the production of TSH. So this coordination, this homeostasis, it will be disrupted through this, and more amount of thyroxine will be produced, and it will result in hyperthyroidism. So more amount of antibody, and it will bind with the receptors, and it will act like TSH, thyroid stimulating hormone, and therefore system will produce more amount of thyroxine, and then the rate of respiration will increase. So here we see the symptoms of the disease are that this antibodies will bind with the receptors of TSH, and or production of this hormone will take place, or production of hormones or hormones of thyroid gland will take place, and it will result in anxiety, tremors, goiter, bulging eyes, fatigue, thick red skin, and irregular heartbeat, and also enlarged thyroid glands. So you can see that here our body, our immune system is acting against this. It is acting against our immune system is acting against this our body, and it's producing some uneasiness and some symptoms which will result in disturbance, anxiety, tremors, goiter, bulging eyes, fatigue, thick and red skin, irregular heartbeat, and a low thyroid. So here our immune system is producing antibodies against itself, and this will be termed as autoimmune disorder. So you can see that in this autoimmune disorder, a small mistake is taking place, that during the selection process of the B cells, some cells will come up due to some mistakes in the selection process, in the maturation of these B cells, and the self-reacting B cells will come up with producing those antibodies which will bind with their self proteins. Here, the receptors are for TSH, and then it will result in this disease. And this is a disease which is termed like Graves' disease, and it's a very good example of autoimmune disorders. Okay, thank you. See you then.